Now here's where the seasoning gonna come in. You just gonna season it. Trust your ancestors. I hope they know how to season stuff, because I'm not gonna put no measurements for these because I don't measure it. I sprinkle it till it look right, and then maybe sprinkle just a tad more. Welcome back, friends, or if you're new here, hey, this is Lauren, the Soap Witch, and this little happy corner of these here internets is where I play in my hair, mix up one of my magical concoctions, or go rogue on a recipe in the kitchen. So today I'm going so rogue in the recipe that I don't even, not on the recipe, but going so rogue in the kitchen that I don't even have a recipe. That's right. So I did list all of the things that I am using down below in the description, and then this recipe that I am so rogue on that I just throw a bunch of stuff together and put it in the crock pot. So I started off by cutting up some carrots, and now following up with cutting up some onion. That's right. And I like to cut up the onion and the carrots pretty thick. I don't do little small tiny slices, not for this particular recipe. Especially the onion, because you know how when you cook with onion, if you like onion, it just disappears and turns into nothing. Yeah, so I don't really want them to disappear and turn into nothing, and so we just get some nice thick juicy pieces that I'm gonna throw off over in that crock pot when the time is right. All right, so moving right along. How many more onions you, ma'am? Okay, moving on to these potatoes. That's right. And I got these out of laziness. Well, one, I do like the yellow potatoes, okay, let's just say, but also they were so small I didn't have to cut them. So now I'm making this ground gravy mix per the package instructions to later on add to everything in the crock pot. I do mention this in the description. Now here's where the seasoning gonna come in. You just gonna season it. Trust your ancestors. I hope they know how to season stuff, because I'm not gonna put no measurements for these because I don't measure it. I sprinkle it till it look right, and then maybe sprinkle just a tad more. But I did list the different seasonings that I did use down in the description below. How much you want to use is up to you, friend. Okay, and we're gonna brown this here roast because that's what we're making. And then we turn it over and we throw in more seasoning on the other side. You just can't season half the meat, okay? I mean, you can if you want to, but that ain't never gonna be my life, friends. So we're browning both sides, okay? And we're seasoning both sides. That's the point that I was trying to make, if I could ever get to it. All right, and so I'm stirring in, because you know I had to go back and forth when you cook, you know, ADHD. Stirred in all the stuff for the gravy, okay? And I put it on the stove. I ain't tell you that, but I did. And now I'm gonna start dumping these vegetables in this crock pot. I like to do half on the bottom of the roast. Don't ask me why half on the bottom and half on top. I don't got no answers. So I got that to a boil, and then stir that up. I like to whisk it. You don't gotta whisk it. And then I'm gonna throw in these cans of cream of mushroom soup, and I'm gonna scoop that in like I'm starving. I'm gonna use every tiny bit of soup that is in this can. It's the same way I do my soap. If you ever watch the soap videos, I scoop every single bit of it out that I can, all of it. You've seen a little snippet of me throwing that roast on in there in the crock pot, and I came back to get the second can. That's right. And I'm taking my whisk and unceremoniously just throwing that all together, giving it a nice stir. There I am. I told y'all I was obsessed with stirring. I told y'all that in the soap video, but I'm just saying, I told y'all my love of making soap came from my love of cooking, and you see how I damn near do them the same. Okay, only one is edible. All right, moving right along. So I stir that until it's a nice thick cohesive mixture. That's beautiful, ain't it? Okay, and so now I'm gonna put the rest of them there vegetables on top of the roast, and then I'm gonna pour the sauce on, gravy, whatever. Okay, I could barely fit all that in the crock pot, but don't care. Gonna put the lid on. You could cook it for 10 to 12 hours on low, or 5 or 6 hours on high. Whatever you choose is up to you, friends. But this is it. I do my fork test. That is, if I could easily break off a piece of meat with the fork, is done. If I could easily tear off into them vegetables, break them up, they done. Everything is done. It looks done. It's great. It was delicious and wonderful. I'm just saying, I love me a good pot roast. So anywho, this is pretty much it for this here fiasco and going rogue in the kitchen with the soap witch. So I should change the series name to that. Moving right along, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found that you enjoyed the special little magical corner of the internet I've carved out for myself over here, go ahead and subscribe, friends, and give this video a like. I hope you have a magical day. I know I intend to, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.